So,
Dude.
episode
5.
high five.
Let's go.
Let's go.
We're a quarter way there to our goal. Almost.
Almost.
Yes.
Very exciting,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
How are we here today,
Bro,
man?
we were this close to canceling, and
For the 5th time.
let me tell you what happened, okay? Let me tell you the story as to what happened. Okay, first of all, I had a shoot this morning, so I do my thing, come back. Big things might be happening from there. But anyways, I get back home, and then I get a call on my way back saying, hey, bring your car into the shop. My windshield is broken.
Yeah.
So they're like, we got the part, come in, everything is set. I was like, cool, you know what? I'll go home, pick up my car, come back. I pick up my car, come back, and simultaneously, my dad leaves with the big car, the SUV. So I get to the shop, and the guy goes like 30 minutes into it, he calls me and he goes like, bro, we had the wrong part. They sent us the wrong part. Until then, they had taken off my windshield. So the car is not drivable anymore. So they're like, you're stuck. Like, you need a rental car. So now I'm on call with insurance, like arguing with these guys. And you know, insurance is the biggest scam in the world. Bro, any chance you get, finesse them. That is the rule, okay? So I was like, bro, I need a freaking Lambo as a rental tonight, all right? So, yeah, I'm just talking to these guys and I'm like, this is what's happening. So I waste an hour there, and then I'm driving to pick you up. And in the way, I remember, oh my God, my dad has taken the car and all the camera equipment is in there. So then, obviously, I call you. This guy's coming down from Waterloo, which is an hour away from here.
2 hours away.
2 hours from bus, I'm sorry. And then I tell Yatharth, I go like, yo, I think we should cancel tonight. And then you got pissed.
I disconnected the call. I was
I
like,
know.
right now if I'm on the call,
I'm getting a yelling.
something's going to happen. So let me just disconnect the call and take 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Breathe.
Yeah.
I need to breathe right now.
Yeah, and then, well, to be fair.
Because this dumbass thinks I'm in Toronto.
Yes, this entire time, I'm like, oh, you're coming to Square One from Toronto. You could just go to, it's you know, it won't be. I'm so sorry, man. Anyways, that's what happened. And then I had to drive all the way to where the SUV is parked, which is another hour away. Pick up equipment, come back to Square One, pick both of you guys up.
But at the end of the day,
It
everything
worked
went
out. It worked out.
Let's introduce the episode.
Yes.
Let's start the episode.
So, welcome back to the POV Show, guys. Today is episode 5, a huge milestone for us at the team. I'm excited. Lots of stuff has happened because we haven't recorded in a while. Like, I think it's been probably like
2 weeks?
Yeah, 10 days-ish,
Yeah,
around
2
there.
weeks.
And so much stuff has happened. I have so much stuff to talk about.
Yeah?
But,
Before that,
yeah.
how are we doing in terms of... I feel like every episode we have to start with
Yeah.
what's good, what's bad.
Yeah. So, over 30,000 impressions on Instagram, which is a huge deal. We're averaging like 1,000 to 2,000 views per video, which is crazy. YouTube all of a sudden has picked up. It was dead for like a good 2 weeks.
Like 0 views and now like 500, 700,000.
Yeah. So views on YouTube are doing great. LinkedIn, I haven't checked. I have no idea what's happening on LinkedIn.
TikTok?
And TikTok is, I actually haven't checked TikTok, but I think they're stuck at 200 views.
The likes are doing good.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Likes are doing better than
On Instagram, the shares are doing insane.
Yeah, you sent me like 30 shares on a video, bro. Yeah. And like, bro, do you want to address any comments?
Okay, so we have this one hater. Yeah. We got our first hater. We are doing something good.
Haters or motivators?
Exactly. So we got our first hater, and the hater is a loyal guy. He's commenting on every single one of our videos.
Yeah.
And we are taking everything into consideration.
And you know what's crazy?
Yeah.
Shout him out.
This guy,
shout him out.
This
Yeah,
guy
what's the name?
he doesn't even follow us.
Oh, yeah?
And his username, I don't even know how to pronounce this. Go Gister, I don't know. G-O-G-K-H-S-T-E-R.
You know who you are.
Yeah, you know who you are.
You will be seeing this video, so please comment on this.
Yeah.
You are our first hater. We are so happy. We are so happy.
We want more.
Yeah, we want more. No, but we'll definitely take everything that he said into consideration.
Man, I actually got offended, bro.
Why?
He dissed our mics, bro.
Yeah.
You know these are $400 mics?
Yeah, but he does. So we are doing something wrong.
Yeah.
See, at the end of the day, one thing
And I
you
know
have
exactly
to
what we're
realize.
doing wrong.
What?
It's the editing process. It's
Yeah?
my fault.
Okay. So at the end of the day, we need to realize the consumer is the god.
Oh yeah, they're
Right? We are doing it for them.
Yeah, 100%.
So if they are not liking it, we have to change it.
You know, in like a food, like if you get the wrong pizza, even though it's the right pizza and the customer says it's the wrong pizza, it's the wrong pizza.
Yeah.
Right? Like the customer is always right.
I work in consulting, and in consulting, this is a saying that is, it's not the customer is always right. No, that's not the saying. The saying is the consultant is always wrong. It's not like the other guy is right.
Yeah.
We are wrong.
Yeah. Fair.
So we have to improve and we have to do what they say.
Yeah.
We are not going to argue that they are right or wrong.
Yeah.
If he wants us to record with a $20 mic, we have to record with a $20 mic.
Yeah.
So whatever it is, we are doing it.
Yeah.
So that's one comment that and we'll fix it.
Yeah.
We'll definitely fix it. What else did he bring? The editing, man.
Yeah, that's Mo's department.
Mo. Bro.
I actually talked about it. You know how it's like,
Yeah.
I can't say that.
No?
I can't say that. We're gonna have to bleep it out.
Yeah,
it
bleep
reveals
bleep.
his identity.
Okay, bleep it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll bleep it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So what?
Can't say that.
There's so much red tape
Sorry.
around Mo, man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. We can't reveal his identity, bro.
Anyways, what else do you want to talk about? So in terms of views, we are doing very well.
Yeah.
In terms of improvements, there are two areas we need to improve in: audio and editing.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Editing has been fixed.
Perfect. Awesome. One big shout out that I want to give to us and our team is, bro, we all are machines, man.
I know.
Mo. Like now Mo has also taken up on him. Like without us following up, he is a little late, but he gets it done.
Yeah.
And like he sends the message on his own. Like, guys, this is this much, this is that much.
Yeah.
This will be for this many days. So thank you so much, Mo,
Yeah.
for taking that on you.
Yeah, 100%.
5 days is a big mark for us.
I'm getting better day by day.
No. And it's amazing,
And bro, we see it. Like,
we see it.
Since day one and up until now, bro, it's...
And honestly, we don't even need to say anything. The views are saying it, bro.
Yeah. No, it's
The
true.
views are saying it.
Yeah.
When we edited it, the crazy edits. We got 0 views.
Yeah.
And now Mo is editing it, and the views are ranking up. Everything is ranking up.
Yeah.
So we are going in the right direction.
Yeah.
It's going to take time.
And bro, I was telling Mo earlier today as well, it's just a matter of time we start averaging 10,000, 20,000. Bro, we'll get to that like 100K mark.
We are not
soon.
failing.
Yeah, that's
Like,
guaranteed.
There is no chance.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's off the table.
Yeah.
So if we are not failing, there is only one option left. We have to do it.
Yeah.
See, we broke the code, man.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you win in life.
The trick to win, don't fail. Crazy, right? So that is something we are definitely taking into account. So I wanted to definitely bring that up. And the second thing I wanted to bring up was people are watching our long form content. We have had around like 60, 70, maybe a little more of people watching entire 50-minute episodes.
Really? Oh my god, I haven't looked at the insights.
50-minute. Bro, people don't even look at that long for Joe Rogan.
Damn, bro.
So I know.
Yo,
I'm
stuff, man.
I'm pretty sure whoever's coming on are like maybe our friends or family or.
But it doesn't matter.
Bro, they sticking with us for 50 minutes as well. Is like a big win on our part.
Yeah.
We are able to keep them over here.
Yeah.
I was talking to one of our common friends. I was like, "What do you think?" And he is someone who we meet occasionally, and we share these kind of conversations. And he said something, and it really felt so nice when he said it. He was like, I started it thinking that I am just going to look at you guys and then close it and be like, oh yeah, I saw it. I started it, and then 5 to 7 minutes in, it felt like I was in the room with you. And I was like, bro, that's
the biggest compliment you could get.
He was like, I know you guys.
Yeah.
And it felt like I was in the room over there with you.
Yeah.
The way you were talking, the chemistry, it really felt like every single person who's watching the video is in there with you.
I think that's the biggest thing, like at least in like podcast scenarios, interview stuff, it's the chemistry, man. And every single feedback we've gotten is the chemistry is amazing. It feels very genuine. It feels very natural. It doesn't feel fake. And that's the intention, right? Like we want to be in a environment.
We are acting well. The fakeness is not coming up, man. The fakeness is not coming out.
Yeah, good actors.
Yeah,
but,
good actors.
I and that's the entire point, right? I think the biggest.
Open the window. It's so hot.
Yeah, I know. But I think the biggest caveat, like at least the first hurdle, was getting used to the cameras. You're right, getting used to these big lights and all that stuff. Now that's like gone out the window. It's funny because the window's open. Like it's easier. It feels friendlier. It feels good, man. It feels natural, and that's the entire point.
And I feel like at this stage, like at this point, all of the initial honeymoon period is over.
It's done.
So now we are talking because we want to talk.
Yeah.
Like now there is no fluff around it.
Before we started, we're like, oh, we'll talk about this, we'll talk about that, it'll be fun.
Exactly.
Now everything's coming to us.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything's coming to us naturally.
Exactly. So with that being said, how many minutes are we in more? Do we know?
Around 5, 6, 7.
Okay, 5, 6, 7. So because we have this new idea where we want to break it down. Do you want to explain that idea to them?
So instead of creating 50-minute long videos or an hour-long videos, we're going to split it up into 10 to 15-minute segments where each segment is going to be a different topic. We'll dive down specifically into it. Like last episode, we did Logan Paul and Prime. I think that was a beautiful little segment. And it was like 15, 20 minutes long, and we went in depth. And I think that's the right way to go about it. So you don't have to sit down and watch the entire hour and figure out which content you like. We'll filter that out for you and make it easier.
The entire purpose is we want to go as much away from the term podcast.
Yeah, it's a show, right? Like,
it's a show and we genuinely want to go in that direction. Right now we are sitting like this, but we have studio spaces available.
Yeah.
Like we have offers.
Yeah, people have reached out saying, hey, do you need a studio? Like, we got you.
That's insane.
Yeah.
A big reason is because he has contacts.
Yeah, but no, we appreciate everybody reaching out.
Exactly. Thank you so much for that. So again, there are studios reaching out. So we want to go into that space. We want to make it a proper show.
Yeah.
So that when we bring people on, it's not like just sitting over here, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. What do you want to talk about? I know you had so much to cover up.
I think
because then I have my list as well.
Okay. The biggest thing that's happened is the Super Bowl. I want to dive a lot deeper into...
Such a shitty ass Super Bowl.
I know, man.
How was this a final?
I know, man. I know. It was garbage. I have a question. Do you know who won?
Yeah, obviously.
Who?
Philadelphia.
Okay.
Eagles.
I don't even know who won.
Yeah, they swept.
Yeah?
Yeah, they swept.
Oh, okay.
Like it was an easy win.
Yeah?
Like, I don't remember the exact scores for each and every segment, but it was like a clear-cut win. I think in one segment it was like 17 to, like the discrepancy was huge.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, by the fourth, like the final time,
yeah,
it was like already known.
Do you know who won the Super Bowl? Okay. I have talked to so many people and nobody knows who won. That's how bad of a game it was.
No, but I feel like I think you are asking the wrong people. Like,
do you watch football?
No.
Exactly. So I am asking the right person.
No, but I watched the Super Bowl. Okay, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
There's a very big reason.
Yeah.
Everybody at my office are huge Super Bowl fans. So I was like...
Yeah. But I have lots to talk about there. I'll actually touch on a little instance that happened to me last week. So I was at the gas station last week. Me and my dad, I was filling up gas. A car pulls up beside me, like a Honda, and they're filling up gas too. And I see this guy come out with a streaming camera. And like 4 young kids, very young kids, 18, 19-year-olds, streaming. So I approached this guy and I go like, yo, are you guys streaming? He had a proper setup, like light, tripod, camera, everything, battery pack, everything. So I go up to this guy, I go like, yo, you streaming? And he goes like, yeah, I am. He goes like, yo, you want to be a part of the stream? He got me on the stream, whatever. And I was talking, I was like, what are you guys like doing? Like how, like, 1, why are you guys doing it? But 2, like, has it gotten you anywhere? Bro, these kids were just so passionate. They're like, we don't care. We're just recording our life, having fun. One guy had a Walmart vest on. So he's like, oh, I just got off work. I was like, you're capping. I know you're going to Walmart to pull a prank right now. And he's like, yeah, I just got it from Facebook for $20. So they were going to Walmart pranking and whatever. And bro, it was such a nice feeling seeing creators out in the open just doing their thing. Because I remember when I was young, having a camera vlogging like this was the most awkward thing in the world. People looked at you like you were a psychopath. Like it was crazy.
Yeah.
Now it's such a like normal thing. You see kids do it, you know, like people are running around with cameras and it felt so nice. It felt like it kind of reminded me of my like younger self, you know, just running around with my friends, vlogging, streaming, whatever. Like it was fun. But
you know, you narrating this story segues perfectly into something I wanted to touch upon. So we'll talk about Super Bowl, but let's start with this. Okay? What I want to do is, because you are Zain Rao, you own a media production company, you work with all these big brands, but at the end of the day, you are a 22-year-old. And you started off when you were what?
Oh, like 14, 15?
14, 15. And I have seen your videos when you were 14, 15.
Yeah, yeah.
You knew nothing.
Yeah.
Like everybody.
Yeah.
And from there, you have had this journey where you have learned and grown and learned and grown. And you recently sent me something and I was like, holy shit. This guy knows how to do magic when it comes to media, when it comes to video. Like it's just magical what Zain does with just by sitting in front of the camera screen. It's genuinely magical. The speed at which he does it, the way he does it. So what I did was I went on Google Trends.
Okay.
And I pulled up 10 most asked questions that young kids from the age 14 to 17 ask who want to start in this industry.
Ooh, okay.
Okay? So I'll ask you that question.
Okay.
You have 1 minute.
Okay.
So Mo, have the clock ready. Okay?
1 minute to answer all 10?
No.
One.
Per question, 1 minute.
Perfect.
Go in depth and answer that question to the best of your ability. So somebody who's a young Zain Rao doesn't have to roam around 20 different places to find those answers.
Fair enough. Cool.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, thank you. I don't know what I sent you that you thought that.
Oh, the testimonial.
Okay, yeah.
Like just that as well.
Yeah, that turned out really nice.
Like when we started with it, it just feels so weird that you and I talk.
We had an idea.
We had an idea and then I just tell you, Zain, this is something that you should do. And you're like, okay, say less. I'll try it out. I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And then you just go and you do it. And then you send me something and it's just like, your film, man.
Yeah.
Your film.
Yeah.
Like,
I think
the ability that you have to just do magic with clips.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is what is missing from our videos, man.
You know, well, sorry, I'm going to segue just a little bit. I remember the person I was shooting the testimonial with, huge thank you to him. And I was sitting down with him. He lives like an hour and a half away from here. And like I thanked him and he's like, Zain, you know something I really appreciate and like why like I'm able to do this? And I was like, why? And he's like, you made an hour and a half drive. You spent 2 hours with me and now you're going to an hour and a half drive back all for free. You're getting nothing out of this. That's the difference between you and every other person. You are doing something that nobody else would ever do. Yeah. Nobody's going to spend 6 hours of their day, spend gas, all that time, go meet the person, shoot whatever they need to shoot, and come back home knowing that they got nothing out of it.
Yeah.
That's why we're doing the podcast or the show as well.
Yeah.
We're getting nothing out of it.
Exactly.
If we look at it, there's literally no return on this.
There is zero.
Yeah.
There might be a negative return for me if I say something that I shouldn't.
Like, bro, you bust 2 hours here. You're going to bust 2 hours back. I drove 2 hours to pick up the equipment. This guy bust another 2 hours. Now his mom's going to come and pick him up as well. Bro, there's
the
no
amount of sacrifices we are making for nothing, technically.
Yeah.
For, inshallah something.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, and bro, like, I think that's why we're able to achieve success. The reason why we can't fail is because we're doing things that nobody else does.
Yeah.
That's the reason why
we are just doing it because we want to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I had all the reason today to just say no.
Yeah.
Bro, like before the shoot.
I told you. I was like, bro, say no.
Bro,
like,
before the shoot,
sense.
like 5 minutes before the shoot, you guys were setting up and I was down just...
Yeah.
And
like, you said hi to me properly an hour after we met. Because he was locked in doing work. Yeah.
Anyways, so...
Yes, go on.
So it's just...
Go on, please.
That. So I'll ask these questions and these questions hopefully will help whoever's watching into a direction. Okay, Mo. So just start the timer out. You just have 1 minute.
Okay.
Be concise, be direct.
1 minute after you ask or before you ask?
Just start the timer and it will flow, okay?
Okay.
So as soon as I start speaking, just go for it. Don't stop him at a minute if he's completing his thought. Don't be a teacher, okay?
Give me like a warning.
Okay. So any and every question that I'm asking is for a young Zain Rao who's 14, 15, 16, 17 who wants to start as a videographer or a photographer or a media production specialist.
Cool.
Okay? Cool. So that's the context behind every question. Awesome. So the first question is, what gear do I need to start?
Nothing. You need an iPhone. And the reason why I say that is because people tend to spend a lot of money on gear when they should be spending time on perfecting what they already have access to. Bro,
what is that?
The iPhone does amazing videos. I could give you a $20,000 camera right now, but if you don't know what to do with it, you're going to create something worse than the iPhone. But
so what if a 14-year-old who cannot even afford an iPhone? how can he start as a videographer or a photographer?
There are a lot of options. What I used to do back in the days, because I didn't have access to cameras, I had a pretty bad phone. I went to my teacher and I borrowed the cameras from the schools. So that's how I learned how to use a camera.
Any recommendation of a camera that a first timer who knows nothing about technology should use?
Anything you could get your hands on. Obviously the better it is, like it's better for you. But anything you could get your hands on. I remember shooting on the T5i, which is a old camera. Like it's the worst camera. But at that time, that's all I had access to and that's what I used.
Perfect. Sounds good. Perfect conclusion. Awesome. Let's go. The second. Oh, that's a deep question. I feel like the second question I'll keep for the last and then we'll segue that into a longer conversation because this is more than a minute.
Cool.
Second question is for Zain Rao. How much should a young kid charge for their work? A young kid.
A young kid?
Yeah.
Brutal on it, like answer?
Yeah.
$0.
Okay.
You are a nobody in this space. You have to admit that. You are absolutely nobody. You have to build up your portfolio. And not even portfolio, you have to build up experience. And the only way you can do that is by doing work for free. Go to people and be like, hey, this is a skill set that I have, shooting videos, editing videos, or whatever. Can I help you in any way? Nobody's going to say no to that. It's a free service you're doing. Now you go to 10 people, you get 10 videos shot. Now you come back home and say, okay, now I have 10 videos. Here, look at my 10 videos. If you like it, pay me $100. And start very small. Like it should be to the point you're making no money. That $100 should be your gas money that you're recovering still.
Okay.
So work hard, work free, build up a portfolio, build up a reputation, build up a network.
How big of a portfolio should a young kid have? 10 clients, like 10 projects, 20 projects, 30 projects?
Very subjective. Because if all 10 of them are bad, which it's going to be in the beginning, then just keep doing it until you feel confident in your own art.
Awesome. The next question for Zain is, should a young videographer or filmographer specialize in a niche or be a freelancer and do every single thing?
I think in the beginning, because this is catered to younger audiences, do everything. Learn what you like the most. Like this year, for the first time, I shot hockey. In like 7 years, I shot hockey. I hated it. Never shooting hockey again. But again,
because you started with weddings, right?
Yeah, I did. And I hate weddings as well. I don't like shooting weddings. But as an artist, you have to try all realms of work and figure out what you like the most. I love food photography, food videos. I love car stuff. Not as much, like there are way better car people out there, but you know, like I'll do it sometimes here and there. You gotta test it out. There's no right or wrong answer. And once you found the answer, then specialize in that.
Yeah, because I used to say the exact same thing to anybody who would come to me from the corporate world and be like, how did you know you wanted to go into this space?
Yeah.
And I would be like, you just have to keep on trying new things because you have to be right once, you have to be wrong multiple times.
Yeah.
So if you have to be wrong multiple times,
yeah.
1 minute.
Awesome. The next one. This is also a very insane question.
Okay.
For a young 14, 15, 16-year-old videographer / filmographer, there are a dozen out there. How do you differentiate yourself?
It's a very, very tough question to answer. And honestly, I think it's your work. Your work will speak
How did
for
you
itself.
do it?
I got lucky, man.
Yeah?
I got
Fair.
really lucky.
Why? Share that story.
My first ever job was with a person who had 1 million subscribers. My first ever job. That's luck, pure luck. And because of that, I got attached to his brand and I built up a reputation. Before then, I was a nobody. And before then, I had created hundreds of videos, bad videos. And even the job that I took, my first ever job, I worked for free for 1.5 years. I traveled like over an hour every single day, spending money out of like my family's pocket, learning the craft. And then after 1.5 years, when the reputation got built, like, you know, people knew about me, what I was doing, that's how I started getting work. But it's very hard to differentiate yourself in this space. Very hard. But your work speaks like way more than you do.
Fair enough. The next question is, let's say a young Mo learned everything, did everything, all the steps that you just said, he did all of that. And now he's in a position that he can officially call it a business and not a hobby.
Yeah.
He can officially start calling it a business. what have you learned by owning YYZ Media that someone who's just coming into the media space should do with their business to make it as professional and as proper as possible?
I think the number one mistake people make is that they start their brand with their name. Zain Rao Productions. I've done it before. Zain Rao Productions was a thing. But that's the worst way to go about it, in my opinion. Make it into a proper company, right? YYZ Media. There's no affiliation of Zain in there.
Why?
Because you get attached to the brand. If you separate yourself, you're still an entity, a creator within the business. But if you attach your name as the business, then you are the business.
As I always say, person should never run the business. Processes should run the business.
Yes. And
so your aim should be to build processes.
Yes. And that was my second thing, build processes within the business, right? Like now over the years, I've built up a whole system for client acquisition and all that stuff. I think that's the most important thing. And it comes with time. I was thinking about this all week. I was like, bro, I could have done a billion different things, things differently.
Yeah.
But you learn over time. There's no right or wrong way to go about it. It's all experience, man.
Yeah. Because, awesome. Because this is something that I realized, or I say this to every single one who comes to me and is like, hi, can you give us some advice?
Yeah.
And I'm like, listen, I cannot give you advice. I can share my personal experience. The only thing that I can say for sure is what worked for me is definitely not going to work for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because as crazy the world is, you only learn when you make the mistakes.
Yeah.
As many books I read, when I remember those books, when I have made that mistake.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh shit, I read that in that book.
Yeah.
Then I always remember it.
You gotta try, man. You gotta fail. You have to fail. There's no other option.
You gotta do what you gotta do. Exactly. Okay, next question. Okay, this is a simple one, 10 seconds. The best editing software.
Depends on what you want to do.
Give the answers for all of them.
If you're an iPhone shooter, CapCut is the best way to go.
Awesome.
If you're a professional, I believe Premiere Pro is king. For color grading, DaVinci Resolve, you have to learn that. And honestly, that's it. These three.
Perfect. So these three and you're set.
Yeah.
Awesome. What about Mac PC?
Mac. Oh, Mac all day.
Awesome. Why?
The integration between iPhone and Mac. You AirDrop. Mainly AirDrop. AirDrop is the biggest thing for me. Honestly, it's a lifesaver, man.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
This is the last second question. How have you learned to deal with difficult clients? And how can someone who's young, 14, 15, 16, talk with someone who's 30, 40?
Sometimes you have to let things go.
Okay.
And it's a very difficult thing to do. Be patient. Be extremely patient. And try your best to satisfy the client. Like, if I have an unhappy client, I would always ask them, what can I do to make you happy? And whatever they say is, I'll do it. Like, even if I'm running out of money or whatever it is, because at the end of the day, I just want the client to walk out and be like, okay, at least they helped me out the best they could, right?
Very interesting.
Yeah, I think let things go. I remember one girl, I'm forgetting her name. She didn't give me $200.
Huh.
For me at the time, $200 was insane. And she didn't give me $200. Now I look back at it, I was like, those $200 won't have changed my life.
Yeah.
But
that relationship and that good...
Yeah. And I remember messaging her on and on and on. No reply, of course. But yeah, you learn, right? I gave the footage before I took the payment. Life happens,
Never give the footage before you get the payment.
Yeah. Take a deposit. Sign a contract.
Sign a contract. Contracts are very important. We have a contract. We have friends. We still have a contract. Contracts are the most important thing.
Yeah.
Awesome. That was super interesting. And now this is the final question I have.
Yeah.
And that is, before that, I want to share something. You just said, right, that you just have to understand what they want and just help them out, even if you're losing money. And this is something that we often do in consulting as well, or one of my partners says this quite often, is most of the time when you realize that somebody is unhappy or not satisfied, the reason behind that is on a primary level, you fail to understand what they needed.
Yeah.
So you need to sit down, go back to the drawing board to step one and start understanding or start reformulating about, okay, what do you need?
Yes. And you know what the thing is? I feel like I spent a lot of time before shooting anything just talking to the person. One, understanding them as a person, building that connection, but also understanding what do you need?
Exactly.
And then exceed that expectation. Because that's how you differentiate yourself.
But do
in
you
the
think
industry.
most of the times the clients don't actually know what they want?
Oh yeah, a lot of them.
And that's the process, right?
Yeah.
And that's why they are not satisfied.
They come to me, they're like, Zain, I don't know what I'm looking for, but this is what I want. I don't know how it works. And then I sit with them, like, okay, why do you want this? Like, where is this going? You know?
That's an entire process in itself.
Exactly.
And most of these creators or young individuals ignore that process.
Yeah. It's very
I feel
important.
like these creators come in with the entire mindset of, I want to shoot.
Yeah.
I want to shoot.
Yeah.
No, I want to make a fancy reel so that I get 1,000 views.
Yeah.
You need to sit down and understand the client, the product, or the service.
I think you need to understand the reasoning behind why. Why do they want this?
The why is very important.
Yeah, and right when you understand the why, then you know, why do I want it? I want it to go up on the website so I could get more clients. Okay, now I understand why. Now, how?
What kind of clients?
Yeah, exactly.
Why the website?
Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of different variables. You have to understand the entire company or the ask that they're asking for and then provide. And I think that's how you exceed expectations. Because the clients are bro, I've hopped on calls. There have been calls where I haven't secured the client. Because I sit down and I go like, what you're looking for is not what we will provide.
Saying no.
Yeah, and you have to learn to
So
say
do you
no.
think these young kids who want to get into this space should say no?
No.
Okay, they should not.
They should not. Again, try everything out. Fail. Get out there and
You are
fail.
in a very privileged position that you can say no.
Exactly. And honestly, there have been patches in my life where I refuse to say no. And I feel like that patch still comes till this day. I know from June to September, I'm not saying no to anything. Everything you throw at me, I'm taking it. Unless like I have to say no. But my mindset is I'm not saying no.
Rick Ross says this. And he's like, I hate wasting money.
Yeah.
And I hate leaving money on the table. And they were like, what do you mean by that? And he's like, let's say I charge $1 million for an event.
Yeah.
And somebody is offering me 500,000 for that same event.
Yeah.
And I'm not doing anything on that day. I'm sleeping at home.
Yeah.
I'll take that event.
Yeah.
I made $500.
Yeah.
Instead of me making nothing, I made $500.
Yeah. And I learned this through the COO of YYZ Media. He has that exact mentality and I didn't because I was like, well, like $500 isn't going to change my life. Why should I take it? It's a low.
I've seen Mo do that as well.
Yeah.
He's like, if I have a free slot, book it.
Yeah. And my manager, he goes like, bro, just take it. Like, you're not losing anything. You're gaining $200. Just take it.
Exactly.
And like, yeah, like I get it. And these are like, again, like on a very micro scale, just say yes to everything. When you get into the higher like ball game, then you gotta pick and choose, right? Then it becomes a little more difficult as to which opportunity is better for you. But yeah, you gotta say yes to everything, man.
Awesome. And the last question that I have that requires a much longer conversation and I would love to dig deep into this conversation is a lot of young kids have this question and that is they start working in different niches and then they start getting stereotyped into that particular niche. But then they realize I want something bigger. I want something better. And it is so hard to break away from that niche. I know you are facing that. I know I faced that when I started in corporate and I was very well able to do that.
Yeah.
And it is the most difficult thing that I did.
Yeah.
How does a young kid or us, like how do we do that? That switch? Because like for you as well, a lot of people just consider you as a videographer or as a content creator, production company, like content creator led production company.
Yeah.
How do you break the stereotype?
I think you have to understand why you're stuck in that realm of a world. The first time this ever happened to me was when I was in the wedding space. I quickly learned that I do not like the wedding space. Then I asked myself, do I see myself doing this type of work over the next 5 to 10 years or the rest of my life? And the answer was simple. It was a straight no. So then I asked myself, if the answer is no, then why am I doing this right now? And the answer to that was money. Because I was getting consistent money every weekend doing weddings. I was, bro, as like a 19-year-old, 18-year-old, you making like $2,000 on like in a month, $3,000 in a month is an insane amount of money. You're not making that type of money.
You have zero expenses.
Exactly. So, bro, like at that time, I was living like a king in our age group. Like I was like, bro, I'm balling. But then I realized, I was like, okay, it's either that I stay here and make this amount of money and maybe grow it as well, turn it into a wedding business and all that stuff, or I switch out completely and take a whole different route. And I remember making few calls one night, and I talked to everyone who I was getting work from, and I was like, do not ever call me back again. And everybody's reaction was like, why? And I was like, because I don't like what I'm doing. And then they asked again, why? Like, you're in such a good place. Again, like, I was privileged to be like doing good weddings. Like, I was doing amazing work. And I had that conversation saying that, bro, like, I don't see myself doing this long term. And like, I just didn't have the passion that these guys did. So they understood that. They were like, you know what? Like, do your thing. If you ever need any work again, always
come back.
Yeah, exactly. And I built like really good relationships. Exactly. Bro, till this day, like, these guys, I've had instances where somebody will call me and they're like, hey, like, I need somebody. Can you, bro? The answer is always yes.
Yeah.
Like, right? I think the hardest reason why people get stuck is because of this. They're comfortable in one space. They're getting money. They're doing good work, right? And it's really hard to break out of that. And if the answer to the question is, oh, do I want to do this 5 to 10 years later down the line? If the answer is no, then you need to switch out fast. And the only way to do that is by letting go of everything, starting from scratch again. And that is the hardest thing, because you
are used to that comfort.
1 and 2, you're risking everything again.
Exactly.
What if it doesn't work out?
Exactly.
And I think that's the reason why people get successful as well, because you have nothing or everything.
Yeah.
So the only option is
and everything. You like that risk. I feel like the people who like that risk are the people who can get successful. Yeah. Because that's my story, bro.
Yeah.
That's exactly my story. I had a full-time job offer from
a mega company, yeah.
Mega company at 19.
Yeah. Yeah.
First year of university. Yeah. Second year had just started.
Yeah.
And I had a full-time offer, and not like, 4 years down the line. I was working in that full-time offer.
Yeah.
And I decided, you know what? I'll go and do an internship all the way across Canada and Vancouver.
Yeah.
Everybody called me dumb.
Yeah.
Everybody. They were like, why are you leaving a full-time job offer for an internship?
All across the country.
All across the country.
For 4 months.
For 4 months, you don't know what they are going to give you, what's going to happen, what's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And all throughout, my entire mentality or headspace was, I don't want to be restricted as the person who does this.
Yeah.
And this was because my mentor, he said a couple of lines that have always stuck by me. First line, if you have to show the work you did 5 years ago, in our case, if you have to show the work you did 1 year ago, you are a loser at that point.
Yeah.
Every year when we sit down, you have to bring up work that's like, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Like every single time a new person enters in that room, he should see a new Yatharth.
Yeah.
Because that is development.
Yeah.
And that is what every single creator needs to aim for.
Yeah.
What they get misconstrued as is they pick a niche, they get successful in that niche, and then they're like, you know what, I'll just stick here.
Yeah.
But that is not going to help them out. Me taking that risk was the biggest blessing I ever had in my life.
Yeah. And it was the biggest risk as well.
Biggest risk.
Yeah.
But as you said, if you have made good relations back in the place, I always have that offer standing.
Yeah, yeah. Until this day, you have it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So if anything happens, you have like something to lean back on.
Exactly. And I know I'm already good at it, but is that something that I want to be stereotyped as? No.
Yeah.
Don't get stereotyped.
Yeah.
Be good at it, but at the same time have the courage to be like, I'm already good at it, so I need to put myself in a different situation.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's hard, man. It's very
so
hard.
It's so hard.
Because mentally, you're just combating that. Like, even right now, like...
Why am I doing this?
Like YYZ Media, we are rebranding. We are restructuring everything from ground zero. And in the back of my head, it's like, bro, I spent 5 years on this company, and I'm rebranding? Yeah. I'm pivoting? Like, I'm a loser. Because, like, that means I did something wrong. But the truth is, no. That's part of the process.
You have to go out, drive 6 hours for a free shoot.
Yeah.
At this age, at this stage of your career, you have zero reasoning to do that.
And again, bro, that's why I get differentiated from everybody else in the industry, because they're just not doing that. I remember, like, last year I got an opportunity.
So, like, what's happening? So you were saying.
Last year I got a call. Hey Zain, we're shooting for Lamborghini. Bro. I was like, what? And again, I was in the wrong headspace. I was like, money's about to come my way. So I was like, how much is the pay? 0. I was like, what? We're shooting for Lambo and I'm getting $0? And the guy was like, he's like, bro, do you know how big of an opportunity this is? And I was like, damn. And this guy, like, he's a huge mentor of mine. So he put me in my place. He was like, who the hell are you? Like, stay in your lane. What are you doing? And I was like, okay, my bad. So I go on set. Bro, incredible. Bro, I learned so much. I, for the first time in my life, saw a Tesla Plaid with a camera rig on top. Bro, it was like probably like $500,000 setup. And we're playing around with this thing and shooting and all that.
You're learning. You're constantly learning.
And I was like, I've never seen anything like that. We're on a racetrack, like filming for Lambo. And I was like, oh my God, this is insane. Like, yeah. And that's part of the game, bro. Like,
bro, the shoot that we discussed today.
Yes.
If
like
that happens.
Yeah. Like, and again, what are we getting out of it? Nothing. But we got to do it, right? Like, yeah. I think it's a very... I feel like there is never a time...
Break the niche. That's all I'll say. If people start recognizing you as, oh, he just does this.
You're already gone.
They should recognize you as, oh, he also does this.
Yes. Yeah. And yeah, I've built up a good reputation.
Look at Elon, man.
Yeah. Yeah. SpaceX, Starlink.
He could have been very comfortable just being known as the PayPal guy.
Yeah.
Or the Tesla guy.
Yeah.
Or the SpaceX guy.
Yeah. But he's like, also.
I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
And that...
Yeah. That's like a killer mentality, man. That, like, you're a whole different beast.
Yeah.
When you're doing that.
Very interesting. So yeah, those were the questions I had. What is the time limit that we are at?
We're at 44 minutes.
What? Wait, did you reset these cameras?
Yeah.
What?
We are at 44 minutes? We were just at 5 minutes.
What the heck? Oh my God.
The chit chat flowed, man. The
Yeah.
chit chat flowed.
Very informative content though. Oh my God. This is a gem.
I didn't want to break any,
Yeah, very
Yeah,
good.
no.
Yeah, awesome. So what I'm thinking is, let's just shoot it as we always shoot it. This one.
Yeah. We'll do the segments next time.
Yeah, the segments next time.
Yeah.
This
Give us thoughts. Whoever's like viewing this long form.
Yeah,
content.
the 50, 60, 70 people who are actually viewing the long
Yeah.
form. Would you like the entire 1 hour thing? Do you want 15-minute segments?
And shoot us a DM. We're responding to every DM.
Everything.
Every DM.
Comment.
So-
No DMs. Comment on our reels.
Sure. Yeah.
Comment
we'll
on
publicly reply to you.
If you DM, we are not responding. Comment.
That's how you get the engagement up.
Exactly. Marketing.
Yeah.
Awesome. So for the next, I think 5-7 minutes, let's actually talk about the Super Bowl. Or bro, the Super Bowl just feels like a out of place conversation.
Yeah.
Let's just end this episode.
What was the thing that you said you wanted to segue into?
This entire
okay,
conversation
cool.
about
Yeah.
like how do you break it? Like
Yeah.
I knew this is not a 1 minute thing.
Yeah.
I knew this was like a much
Yeah.
larger piece.
And yeah, bro, it's a difficult question to answer as well.
Exactly. It's a very difficult question to answer because there are so many caveats attached to it, because I know so many people in my life have always said this to me, that if you're doing this, be the master at it and then just do that.
Yeah.
And yes, while that is true, I never conform to it. And my mentor, who I look up to so much, has always said that to me. That don't get restricted. Do whatever the hell you want. Don't listen to people and all this bullshit. If you want to be a food videographer and a wedding videographer and a content creator and this and that, do everything.
Yeah.
The entire concept about you cannot have everything is a lie.
Yeah.
You can have every single thing that you want if you have the courage to go after it with full form.
Yeah.
I could have said that I don't want to do this POV show, I can stay in my lane. Everybody asks me that.
Yeah.
Every single person asks me, why are you doing the POV show?
Yeah.
And my entire argument is, why not?
Yeah. When
I
can
got
do
an
it, why not?
opportunity. Why not?
Yeah.
I want to prove people that I'm not just in that corporate space. I can do anything over here. I can do anything wherever the hell I want.
Yeah. And that's how again, bro, I feel like that's what differentiates us from a lot of people, right? Like a lot of people get comfortable. I know a lot of people who are comfortable.
Yeah.
And bro, like,
And they're scared to take a risk.
yeah,
They're so scared like people will judge me if I do this.
yeah, and you know what? Simultaneously, I am gonna say I feel like this question has no right answer, because I feel like the reason why we're able to talk like this is because we're 22. This entire conversation would be a lot different if we were 40.
Agreed.
And that's why there
But
is
this,
no right
this
or wrong
show is
answer.
based for 22s, right?
Yeah, sure.
Exactly.
This is
show-
our perspective.
Our age. Then this is the age when you, like somebody said it, the best time to start a business or to do something is when you are young and stupid.
Yeah. Because you have nothing to lose.
Who are you
Yeah.
at the grandest scale
Yeah,
of things?
you're literally a nobody. Bro, life doesn't start till 30.
At 30, it doesn't start till 40. Life doesn't start basically.
Like Gary Vee says, you're a baby.
Exactly. Bro, you know what I was seeing yesterday? All of Casey Neistat's old
Oh my
video.
God.
Oh my god, bro.
Bro, you know what a rabbit hole I was down under like a couple days ago? I went on Zed Ali's YouTube page. Bro, I sat for like 2 hours just watching our old videos.
Yeah?
Bro, they're so bad. So bad. And I called up Zed and I was like, bro, I don't know
Bro,
what we were
I
doing.
feel like Mo will do that when he like becomes super successful.
Yeah.
And with,
You're like,
all
yeah,
these
what was the POV show?
Yeah, with these productions, and he'll be like, what the hell were these two guys
Yeah.
doing? And they allowed me to do this kind of a shoot?
Yeah, bro, no, again, man, like you reflect, like I'm looking at videos 4 or 5 years ago and I was like, what is this garbage? And bro, it has like 10 million views. Yeah. And again, like I'm like, it worked. We did it. You know, like.
That was the time.
Yeah.
Bro, and we have to see where the water takes us.
Yeah.
And this is the best way we are testing those waters out.
Yeah.
You are learning so much about the industry. I am learning so much about the industry.
Yeah.
Is there any reason for me learning about it? No, but I like to learn.
Yeah.
What's wrong,
Yeah.
why shouldn't I learn something new that's interesting, that just makes me curious, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that being said,
Yeah.
we want to just wrap this episode up.
Yeah, how many minutes are we at?
34, we're at around 50.
50.
50? Do you want to talk about something else before we wrap up?
No,
Or-
I think this is good.
Yeah?
Yeah, this is good. This is very
Awesome.
good.
Mo, do you have any? You were sitting here while Zain was
Yeah, oh my
answering
god,
that.
bro, that time flew.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Do you want to ask any questions from your end, or from what he said you want some clarification?
All the questions that I had were the questions that I was literally, we were talking in the car.
In the car
And
today,
most
yeah.
of what you were saying, we were talking in the car.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy how that just happened. And
Yeah, because I just literally went on Google Trends
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, what are the questions that most of these young kids want
Yeah.
to, answer?
Yeah.
Because I feel like they go to people who are 30, 35, who are our mentors basically. But I feel like the times have changed, right?
Yeah.
Like somebody who advised me how to get into the industry might not be able to advise somebody who's 10 years younger.
Yeah.
Because the time has changed. What's expected of you has changed.
Yeah, and bro, like I've been in the game for 7 years. The game was completely different back then. Bro, 2 years ago, the entire game was different. Pre-COVID and after COVID, things have changed.
Pre-TikTok, post-TikTok.
Yeah, and like whatever advice even I give might not be the right advice for now.
Yeah.
At that time it worked. Now,
Again, it's not advice, it's our experiences,
Yeah.
our learnings.
Yeah.
Because I can guarantee you, Mo was sitting here and he listened to all of this, but the day he'll learn is not today.
Yeah.
The day he'll learn is the day he actually fails, and that's when he'll learn.
Yeah.
And that will be a story that he will share with anybody who asks him the
Yeah.
question.
in 10 years, I'm going to have my own podcast.
Yeah,
Exactly.
there you go, bro.
Bro, 10 years is too long. See,
Yeah.
you are thinking like old age. I'm telling you, anything you do, 6 months should be your horizon.
Yeah.
6 months. If it's not working in 6 months, switch.
Switch it up, yeah.
Switch. Keep on switching.
Yeah.
We tried to do a business.
Yeah.
We tried
So
it
hard.
So hard. We had this story needs to be told, and I
Yeah.
feel like let's tell that story.
Okay, fine.
I came up with the idea with Zain
In Cali.
in Cali
While we're driving from LA to San Francisco.
at 1 in the night.
Yeah, it's like 1
at
or 2
1 in the
a.m.
night. We came up with the idea in the car. Okay, like I literally brought that idea up to Zain in the car.
Yeah.
In 1 week, we had the entire business plan set. We had the entire strategy set. We had the entire marketing model, every single model set, and we had clients.
Yeah, we had 2 or 3.
We had three
clients.
clients who were interested and ready to pay us money.
Yeah, they're like, take our money, do it.
Thousands.
Yeah.
They were ready to pay us thousands of dollars.
Bro, we had a genius idea.
I want to know what this this idea?
Off camera.
Off camera, we'll tell you.
Yeah.
Not that.
Yeah.
But
Genius. The only reason why we were not able to do it was just a legal reason.
Yeah, it
and
was
now
just-
we look back on it, thank God we didn't.
yes, it worked out in our favor.
So much.
Yeah.
We would have wasted so much time.
Yeah, and bro, like again, I think we put like a month into that project, and like,
Yeah.
and right at the end of the month, we're like,
Yeah.
it's just not working out.
It's not
We
working out.
don't see going anywhere. Move on. And like then the
when we were trying to figure the logistics out more, oh my God, me and Zain,
bro, we were pulling all nighters back to back to back.
back to back
Yeah.
to back, and we were driving everywhere. Waterloo, Hamilton, Brampton, somewhere else.
Yeah.
We started in Cali. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, that
Yeah.
month was a high.
Yeah, and bro, like we were in LA, so we went from LA to San Francisco. In
It's
San
a
Francisco,
8-9 hours,
in
right?
San Francisco, we had everything set. When we came back to LA, we had meetings set with people, potential clients, and which
So in 8 hours, we had the entire idea set. In the next 3 days, we had the entire business plan, strategy, model set. In the next 3 days, we had client meetings and we had clients booked.
yeah,
In 1 week,
yeah, yeah,
we had everything done.
Yeah.
From inception to actually a paying idea that would
yeah,
pay us.
yeah, and yeah,
And back-to-back meetings with clients. Back-to-back meetings with
Yeah.
clients.
we were in Toronto so often as well, running around.
We had meetings in Toronto set up.
Bro, I missed meetings because of our meetings. I remember. Oh my god.
And it was insane. Every meeting that we went into,
Yeah,
I doubt any meeting was a meeting in which we had a negative response.
yeah.
We either signed them or they were like, okay, let me get back to you in a week. This is something I want to do.
Yeah, yeah. There was never a negative thing.
It was
attached to
never a no.
Yeah, it was never a no. It was like, let me hear more. yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Okay, so
that
with-
was a crazy time,
insane,
bro. Such a crazy
insane.
time.
The rush that we were at.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm at the same rush with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the only difference is I want to sustain this. That's why we are taking it much
Slower, yeah.
Much slower.
That one was, because that was time sensitive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like when you were in Waterloo, you brought this up. Quantity and quality, that balance between partners,
Yeah.
you have to figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's a very big chance that too much quantity will be
yeah.
a lesser quality.
Yeah.
So you have to figure the balance out.
Yeah. But okay, anyways, this is episode 5 of the POV show. I loved this episode.
Yeah. After this episode, there's going to be a switch.
Yeah.
Because we are having a very big town hall meeting on maybe this weekend.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
a good 4-5
Our
hour
entire
meeting.
team's gonna sit down and talk about why the show sucks.
Yeah.
And what we need to change.
Exactly. Like there might be there might be a very big possibility that after this episode there might be a 360-degree switch.
Yeah. Yeah.
About like how every single thing is happening.
Works,
Maybe
yeah.
we change the room.
Maybe
like,
we get rid of Mo. Who knows?
Yeah. Exactly. Maybe the first firing happens. But with that being said,
You gotta do what you gotta do.
dibby dee, dibby da, dibby do. Let's go.